Donald Trump is physically incapable of shutting the hell up, and that might be a problem. Special counsel Jack Smith has called him out for his daily posts on Truth Social, which threatened to, quote, prejudice the jury pool after a judge told him in legal terms to, quote, knock it the hell off. Donald Trump's lawyers responded to Jack Smith's warnings by drinking heavily. But that's not the only place Don needs to zip his lips. Trump once again owes E. Jean Carroll some money. Now, if you'll remember earlier this year, a judge ruled that he owed her money for defamation the first time. Then he went on CNN like 5 minutes later and said the same stuff again, causing her to immediately resue him, and now he owes her money a second time. I hope for her sake that he keeps on talking so she can buy herself a yacht or 6. Kevin McCarthy is once again in the position of trying to call off his attack dogs to avoid a government shutdown. His right-wing Freedom Caucus wants him to support their efforts to hold the government hostage until they get their 10 pepperoni pizzas in a chopper. If he goes along with them, he'll get voted out in the next election because shutting down the federal government is not popular. But if he ignores them, any one of them could call for his dismissal as House Speaker. So what do you do when the dogs are growling and you need to calm them down? Do you want to impeach the president? Do you? Yeah, go get it! Here, that should keep him busy for a minute. A Capitol physician says, don't worry, Mitch McConnell is perfectly fine despite freezing up again at a press conference, which means there's only one thing that could be causing this. Ugh, guys, he's astral projecting again. Mitch, stop exploring the astral plane and get back into your body right now. There are cameras. Tucker Carlson interviewed a dude that said he did drugs and had sex with Obama.
I start putting a line on a CD tray to snort, and next thing I know, he's got a little pipe and he's smoking. So I just started rubbing my hand along his thigh to see where it was going, and it went the direction I had intended it to go.
Yep, seems like a reputable fella. These incidents allegedly happened back in 1999 and have been previously debunked because this man failed a polygraph and also has done a bunch of crimes. But Tucker Carlson decided to dig up the scandal's corpse and Weekend at Bernie's it on his show. And they say Hollywood is out of ideas. Neo-Nazis marched in front of Disney World this week. No thanks, guys. I already have plenty of reasons to not want to go to Disney World. The lines, other people's children, my irrational fear of Minnie Mouse, the parking. We don't need to add neo-Nazis to the list. What famous Republican politician has been charged with multiple felonies? Is it Trump? Well, sure. But also, Texas's most corrupt politician of the fiscal quarter, Ken Paxton, is on trial for impeachment. Paxton is just like Trump, except he speaks in coherent sentences, has a slightly smaller butt, and no orange face paint. But unlike Trump, his own party is out to get him. So what can we expect from these impeachment proceedings? Here to tell us more is our chief legal correspondent, Jonathan Miller. Good to have you back, Jonathan.
Good to be here.
Now, Jonathan, this trial's going to be going on for the next couple of weeks. What do you think it's going to look like?
Well, look, Andrea, impeachments aren't anything like a criminal trial, right? It's not about guilt or innocence. We know the party's guilty. It's really just kabuki theater in all sense of the term. I mean, if you look at how it's set up, you've got Ronald McDonald presiding over an impeachment of the Hamburglar, and the jury is full of Grimace, the McNuggets, and a bunch of Fry Kids.
So if you had to make a bet, how do you think this trial is going to go? Do you think Paxton's going to get impeached or no?
If anybody thinks this is going to be a fair process, keep in mind that Vegas won't even take bets on the odds here. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and quote a Republican who said there's a 99.9% chance that he returns to office at the end of the month.
Sounds like it's going to be an interesting ride. We'll stay tuned for any major developments over the next couple of weeks. And thanks again for being here, Jonathan. Would Donald Trump throw you under the bus? Absolutely. But would he throw his own children under the bus? He can, and he has. In a deposition in one of his many court cases, Trump said that Eric was the one running the financials at his business, and that all questions about whether or not the numbers add up should probably be directed to him. When reached for comment, Eric grinned and said, "He knows my name?" Vladimir Putin has been in a deal-making mood. In order to allow Ukrainian grain to be shipped out of their ports, Putin has some demands. First, he wants back on the SWIFT system, an international banking service, plus he gets to keep Ukraine. He also wants back insurance for his own grain transport ships, plus just a little bit of Poland, which was his anyway. Also, Finland belongs to Russia now. Okay, go ship your grains or whatever. Putin is expected to have a summit soon with North Korea. Given the world's current geopolitical shit show, experts think that both leaders will be asking the other if they can borrow $50 till next payday. Two industrious Mongols with an excavator caused irreversible damage to a section of the Great Wall of China. Well, it was a good run, China, but it looks like you'll just be New Mongolia soon. A basketball-sized coin has been made to commemorate Queen Elizabeth II. And to really honor her legacy, this coin is made from materials that were stolen from other countries. Also in the UK, more than 150 British schools have been closed over structural safety concerns. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has assured the people that the issue is limited to just public schools, and any family that is concerned should simply send their children to private boarding schools instead. Sunak also suggested that Brits dip into their diverse stock portfolio or rent out one of their summer estates. For more on this story, we go to our chief British correspondent, Matt Johnston.
Now, our Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, said that he definitely didn't cut the school budget. And after all, he's got a couple of young daughters going to school. I mean, not one of those schools, obviously. It's a posh school, built properly. So there are about 150 or so schools that have this, shall we say, flaky concrete in them. But I think everyone's getting a little carried away. There are thousands of schools where the roof is actually just fine. But we're not talking about those, are we? Plus, if the roof does collapse on children's heads, then it being flaky concrete means that it probably won't do any damage at all. And I say that as someone that has no engineering experience whatsoever. And if the concrete collapsing doesn't get you, then let's be honest, the asbestos that will then be exposed after the roof caves in probably will.
All right, thanks, Matt. For more on news from both sides of the pond, check out the latest episode of our podcast, A Very Special Relationship. Links in the description and at the end of this episode. A driver crashed his car into a Denny's. Patrons inside the restaurant at the time told reporters that they were shocked by the sound of the car hitting the building, as none of them had ordered a Grand Slam. This joke was brought to you by Denny's. Denny's, because it's late and you're drunk. A Chicago news crew that was reporting on a string of robberies were themselves robbed at gunpoint while filming. Luckily, everyone's fine, but the crew has requested to transfer to a less ironic assignment. And finally tonight, the leftist boogeyman is coming to take away everything you love. Or at least that's what Republican senators are saying. Marsha Blackburn kicked things off by tweeting that the left wants to take away people's barbecue grills. Marsha, we don't care about your barbecue grills. We're too busy trying to turn your children gay. Then old Teddy Cruz had himself a beer because apparently the Biden administration is going to storm into your house, raid your fridge, and pour out all your beer like an angry stepdad.
What is it with liberals that want to control every damn aspect of your life? Biden came in, one of the first things they wanted to do was ban gas stoves. New York State has now done that for new construction. They're trying to go after and regulate ceiling fans. I got to tell you, it's hot in Texas. We don't want to get rid of our ceiling fans. And now these idiots have come out and said, drink 2 beers a week. That's their guideline. Well, I got to tell you, if they want us to drink 2 beers a week, frankly, they can kiss my ass.
Just to recap, the Biden administration is recommending that people drink less beer, like your doctor does. But instead of staging a march on Central Healthcare Associates or whatever, normal people just go home and crack open a cold one to help erase that advice from their minds as quickly as possible. This whole you can pry X thing from my cold dead hands completely ignores that you're more likely to have cold dead hands in red states. Also, Republicans care way more about light bulbs and gas stoves and beer than liberals do. We do not have some elaborate beer-stealing conspiracy because, again, we're too busy trying to turn your kids gay. But you know what this does? It distracts people from real things Republicans are trying to take away, like interstate travel for pregnant women. That's right, Republicans want to make it illegal to drive on roads out of the state to get an abortion. Imagine a world in the not-too-distant future where every woman has to take a pregnancy test before getting on an airplane or driving across a state border. That's not hyperbole. That is the next step. Look at the laws they're already trying to pass. What else is next? Are baby moons about to become illegal? Maybe for the safety of pregnant women and babies, we should lock them up in camps until they give birth so they can't go get an abortion anywhere. Ladies, if you want to be able to go on vacation without peeing on a stick in front of a TSA agent, I suggest you think long and hard about who you're voting for. If someone's making too much noise about light bulbs and gas stoves and beer recommendations, it's because they're trying to distract you from something that actually matters. That wraps up this week's news report. Don't forget to check out our podcast and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Your efforts are valid, but I don't think you can step up to the challenge. Your efforts are valid, but I don't think you can step up to the challenge.